Oda Nobunaga, one of Japan's most iconic and controversial figures, is well known for his ruthless military conquests and significant role in the unification of Japan during the Sengoku period, 1477 to 1615. However, one of the more curious aspects of his personality and what set him apart from other daimyos, feudal lords of his time, was his fascination with Western culture, especially fashion and firearms. His adoption of European styles was more than a mere novelty. It became a part of his identity as a leader who embraced the new and the unconventional. To understand Nobunaga's obsession with Western fashion, it's crucial to examine the context of European arrival in Japan. In 1543, Portuguese traders arrived on the shores of Japan, introducing firearms, new religious ideas, and a variety of goods, including textiles and fashions from Europe. These Western goods intrigued the Japanese elite, but Oda Nobunaga, in particular, found these novelties captivating. In 1549, the Jesuit missionary Francis Xavier brought Christianity to Japan, and with it came more exposure to European culture. The Jesuits quickly realized that gaining favor with influential daimyos like Nobunaga would help spread their faith. They often presented luxurious European gifts, such as textiles, jewelry, and firearms, to curry favor. Nobunaga, ever the opportunist, saw the utility in befriending the Europeans, and he became one of their staunchest allies among Japan's ruling class. Nobunaga's first exposure to Western culture came in the form of firearms. In the mid-16th century, Japan had never seen weapons like the Portuguese matchlock arquebus, known in Japan as the teppo. Nobunaga quickly realized that this new technology could revolutionize warfare. While other daimyos were slow to adopt firearms, seeing them as dishonorable compared to the traditional katana, Nobunaga embraced them with enthusiasm. He not only acquired hundreds of arquebuses, but also refined their use in battle. One of the most famous examples of his innovative tactics was at the Battle of Nagashino in 1575, where Nobunaga deployed rows of musketeers in rotating volleys, devastating the cavalry charges of the Takeda clan. His keen interest in Western firearms is often credited as a key factor in his military success, showing that Nobunaga's obsession with Western goods was not just about appearances, it had practical, tactical applications as well. Beyond firearms, Nobunaga developed a deep fascination with European clothing and accessories. During this period, the Jesuits and Portuguese traders frequently brought European garments, jewelry, and artwork as gifts to the daimyos they sought to convert or influence. While many daimyos appreciated these goods as curiosities, Nobunaga went further. He incorporated them into his public image. Nobunaga's interest in Western fashion became evident as he began wearing lavish European-style clothing during public appearances and military campaigns. His favorite items included ornate capes, silk garments, and even leather boots, which were highly unusual in Japan at the time. He was especially fond of Western-style hats, often adorned with feathers or other embellishments, which made him stand out among his peers, who were still wearing traditional samurai attire. Nobunaga's choice to wear these foreign clothes was not simply for personal enjoyment, it was a political statement. By adopting Western fashion, Nobunaga projected an image of himself as a forward-thinking, modern leader who embraced change and innovation. In a time when Japan was fragmented and clinging to old traditions, Nobunaga's flamboyant and unconventional fashion sense symbolized his break with the past and his vision for a new, unified Japan. Nobunaga's relationship with the Jesuit missionaries played a significant role in his exposure to Western culture. While he never converted to Christianity, he allowed the missionaries to spread their religion and build churches in his territories. He saw the Jesuits as useful allies in his power struggle against rival Buddhist sects, particularly the militant Iko-Ikki, who posed a threat to his rule. In return for his support, the Jesuits showered Nobunaga with gifts from Europe, which further fueled his fascination with Western goods. Among these gifts were intricately crafted European weapons, clocks, and textiles, but it was the clothing and accessories that Nobunaga seemed to cherish the most. Some accounts suggest that Nobunaga even had his own portrait painted in European fashion, though no surviving image exists. Jesuit records from the period describe Nobunaga as a ruler with a taste for the exotic and foreign, portraying him as a leader who was eager to adopt Western customs as a way to distinguish himself from his rivals. Nobunaga's fascination with Western culture extended beyond his wardrobe. He incorporated European architectural elements and interior design into his palaces. Azuchi Castle, his grand residence built between 1576 and 1579, is often cited as an example of his eclectic tastes. The castle featured several European-style decorations, including tapestries and religious icons gifted by the Jesuits. It was also said that Nobunaga had a room dedicated to Christian imagery, which was highly unusual in Japan at the time. Nobunaga's palace was more than just a home. It was a symbol of his power and vision for Japan. By blending traditional Japanese architecture with European aesthetics, he once again projected an image of himself as a ruler who embraced innovation and modernity. While Oda Nobunaga's life was cut short by betrayal, he was forced to commit seppuku in 1582 by one of his own generals. His legacy as a pioneer of modern Japan endures. His military successes and his role in unifying Japan are well known, but his fascination with Western culture, particularly fashion, added another layer to his complex character. Nobunaga's adoption of Western clothing, weapons, and architecture demonstrated his willingness to break away from tradition and embrace new ideas. In a time when many of his contemporaries clung to the old ways, Nobunaga saw the value in integrating foreign influences into Japanese society. His embrace of Western fashion was not just a personal quirk, it was a reflection of his broader vision for Japan's future as a powerful, unified nation. In many ways, Oda Nobunaga's obsession with Western fashion was symbolic of his larger approach to leadership. He was a man who defied convention, whether on the battlefield or in his wardrobe. His willingness to embrace the new and the foreign set him apart from other samurai leaders of his time, and his influence on Japanese culture continues to be felt centuries after his death. Nobunaga's unique blend of traditional Japanese values and Western influences left an indelible mark on Japan's history, shaping its trajectory toward modernization and openness to the world. His flamboyant style, both in fashion and in governance, remains one of the more intriguing aspects of his complex and controversial legacy.